Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Joy, don't feel bad. We're coming to your former team now, who has 2 trophies. So that's not bad. We're coming to Kolkata now, who has a new captain. We had Shreyas Iyer, of course, who they picked up. Fierce bidding for him, and they got him as captain. Here's what your team is looking like. But if we talk about Shreyas Iyer, the captain, we saw him in Delhi. Joy, the time when he took over the captaincy, that was strange, right? Mid-season, you have no idea it's coming. Gautam, who you have obviously dealt with a lot, no nonsense kind of guy, figured he didn't have the form and said, that's it, I'm done. In fact, I clearly remember that season, he said, I'm not even taking money for the rest of the season, right? And he stayed with the team and said, I won't even. That's just the kind of guy he is. But look at the flip side. There's a young Shreyas Iyer. What was he? I think 23 or something at the time. And he's just given captaincy of this team that has constantly been wooden spoon contenders up till then.
Yeah, he didn't. He did a fantastic job with them. He was brilliant with them. Look, they always had the talent, but the Delhi Capitals, or before that, what they were, the Daredevils, never actually got their talent together for a consistent amount of time. So I think Shreyas Iyer did absolutely brilliantly for them. The other thing you like about him is he's a very self-confident young man. He's a kind of guy who's very sure of his ability and his thing. So when he realized that Rishabh Pant was going to continue as captain, he decided not to stay. And let me tell you, he had gone to the auction table. Obviously, both the teams, I can promise you that both Lucknow and Gujarat would have seriously looked at him. There would have been serious discussions out there. But somewhere he would have been given the reassurance from perhaps more than one team, come back to the auction, you will be rewarded. Come back to the auction, you will be rewarded, you will be picked up, you will get your price. He could have got even more perhaps outside, but it's important. And I think he's a very self-confident man. He probably also thinks he's in the right place because the kind of kids he's got with him, Venkatesh Iyer as a wingman, a young team, 2, 3, 4 other young talents, Shivam Mavi coming through. I think he thinks he can do something with this team.
Yeah, I'd like to see those numbers again, Gaurav. And there's a reason I want to see those numbers again. He has not set. Is he there? वो नीचे जो बैठता था वो हाँ.
Hey, he's right here. Right here. This time I clapped. Usually I kick him to get the graphics up.
Look at these graphics. These are not the graphics of someone that people are chasing. These are not the graphics of someone who's going to you're going to chase for 12.5 crores. These are the graphics of someone you're buying on potential. See what has happened in the last 6 games. I saw him play these last 5 or 6 games. Joy talks about confidence. I'd go so far as there was a swagger about him. And in a couple of games, he had to pace himself, but he was scoring at a strike rate of 160, 170. So I think the 123 or the 130, whatever strike rate, Shreyas Iyer is gone. You will now see a Shreyas Iyer from number 3 trying to play at 140, 145, unless, and that is why he's a 2-gear player, unless they have problems at the top of the order. But that Shreyas Iyer with those numbers, you won't see now.
Iyer and Iyer. Let's talk about Venki Iyer. Listen, you have a lot of players who have done really well in one season, right? And they've been one-hit wonders, Joy. Let's hope that that doesn't happen to Venkatesh Iyer. Not anything to say about his ability, because his ability is fantastic. But a lot of times, you take the opposition by surprise. And the next time the opposition comes at you, well, they've had planning and analytics and everybody sitting and trying to figure out how to decode you.
Yeah, they call it the sophomore curse. The second season is always the toughest season. You're scouted, absolutely. Look, I think the way he plays though, it's not that he has a particular shot or he's particularly favors the onside or the leg side, or he has just 2 or 3 deliveries that he can hit all the time. I think he has that overall game, and I think his ability, again, self-confidence, both these guys, Venkatesh and Shreyas, the self-confidence I think is the key. Again, this is a guy who's not made it the easy way. 28 years old, got a job, wondering, Deloitte or somewhere, wondering, management career, this. So look, he's sorted there. He's already taken one big risk by coming into cricket, because unlike a lot of the others, he had a lot more to lose by coming back into cricket. You see, if you have a Citibank job waiting for you when you're not in cricket, it's that much tougher. If it's a State Bank of India job waiting as a clerk in State Bank of India, maybe it's not that exciting. So for Venkatesh Iyer to walk away from that was a big risk. So I think he's brings a certain amount of confidence. This young core is the key for KKR. If these guys get going, this team can do something.
Yeah,
I'm not as worried about the second season blues for him, but it's an absolute truth. The second season blues, because this kid, I mean, at a certain level he's 28, but he's still a kid, right? Gaurav, even for you, he's a kid.
No, not for me. He's
Even
my
with your-
batch. He's
even
my
with your-
batchmate.
Even for you, he's a kid. But what has he done? He realized he's smart enough to know he doesn't have a chance opening the batting for India.
Yeah.
So he's gone back to his state side and batted 5 for his state side, knowing that when the chance comes for India, it will be at 5 or 6, not at the top. And I saw him play at 5 or 6, and he looked the deal. So I couldn't see any weakness in him because he's now playing bowlers he hasn't played before, and he seemed cool to go up front straight away. Mr. Iyer played really well for India in that phase. So I think he's the deal. I don't know about his bowling. He hasn't bowled enough, so I don't know about his bowling. But I think with the batting, he's the deal. Only thing is, if he fails in 2 or 3 games, I'd like to see how he comes back, because you've not seen failure at this level yet.
Yeah. Interesting. Their spin combination as well, right? They've gone with mystery spinners. They retained both Varun and Sunil. But here's the interesting thing, Joy. Varun, with injury, with his knees, and Sunil Narayan didn't really, set it ablaze when the first installment of the last tournament happened in India. So they've relied heavily on them. They've retained them. A lot of the purse has gone in these two. But KKR will have their fingers and their knees crossed that both these guys take the field and can do well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also thinking that, which is why one of their crucial choices was Anukul Roy, because he's going to do a lot of fielding for this team because given the circumstances. These two, I think this KKR, it's funny because, a team coached by Brendan McCullum, which is not the most agile team in the field, is something that you don't associate with these guys.
Yeah.
But this isn't, they are carrying 2-3 players out there who are not going to be that great on the field. The thing about it, though, is that their spin attack really depends on somebody like Narayan doing well in India. And it's not happened for the last couple of seasons. That's a great comparison.
There you go.
Those are fabulous numbers.
Narayan is nothing.
Yeah.
Those are fabulous numbers. And Joy, Narayan is a T20 beast. He's a monster. He should come out of J.K. Rowling's books. He's that much of a monster in T20 cricket. So look at what he's done recently. CPL may not be a great indicator because those tracks were really slow. Economy rate 4.5.
Yeah.
But he went to Bangladesh and he scored with a strike rate of 190. I mean, it doesn't matter who's bowling. He's scoring 50 of 23 balls and whatever. So his batting hasn't gone away. I don't see him opening the batting. But as a floater, he won them a game or two last year when it was critical. Just going in and suddenly hit 3 sixes in the game, in a must-win game. So Sunil Narayan is a beast. Sunil Narayan might on a bad day give you 40-30, but he's still a good bowler. My concern was with Varun Chakravarti because he hasn't played since the T20 World Cup. So I hope he's fit. I'm very fond of Varun Chakravarti. At the IPL level, he was bowling the difficult overs. If you notice, they were holding Varun Chakravarti back at the death and bowling him in the power play. Unlike most spinners who just bowl in the middle overs. So if he's fit, that's a fantastic retention. I just want to make one little clarification on the blogs that we shot. I said Varun Chakravarti might have second season blues. I actually meant Venkatesh Iyer. By mistake, I said Varun Chakravarti.
No problem. Clarification has been issued and you have been forgiven by Cricket Twitter.
Dhanyavad. So if you then say, okay, Iyer Rahane as openers for KKR, then you can play Sam Billings at 5. But once Pat Cummins comes back, Pat Cummins is coming back from Pakistan. I think he's missing the first 3 or 4 games. 5 is what I've heard. Then suppose you say, right, Umesh Yadav, I'm not so sure. He's only played 2 games in the last 2 years. Can I play Cummins and Southee both? If I want to play Cummins and Southee both along with Mavi, then I've got Narayan, I've got Varun Chakravarti, I've got a fabulous team. Cummins can bat, Southee can bat as well. Then instead of Billings, I can play Jackson over there and then have my 4 overseas players.